Good evening, and welcome to the CultCast, the best hour-long conversation you're going to hear, for the next hour at least. I'm Leander Caney. I'm your host. Joining me today, for a change, we have the Griffin Jones coming in from Ohio. Good evening, Griffin.
Good evening to you as well.
And we also have Lewis Wallace. Hello, Lewis.
Good morning to you.
You have yet to embrace the evening. You've been outvoted 2-1.
I can't say it when the sun's beaming brightly. Alexa said it was really cloudy today, but it looks beautiful outside. I wish I could go outside and find out.
I know. Looking out the window here, it is a lovely day. A lovely, lovely day. There's supposed to be some huge Pineapple Express tropical river coming in, right? Some massive storm that's going to knock California off the map for a few days.
Great. Clean this city up a little bit.
Well, yeah, we'll see. We have a superb show today, probably one of the best in recent memory. We have a very special treat. Griffin's going to be giving us his first impressions of the new M5 Vision Pro headset, which I'm super excited about. Can't wait to hear about the 10% extra foveated rendering.
Easy for you to say. What the? Okay.
What about you? Are you not excited about that, Lewis?
No, I just can't wait to see Griffin put it on.
Yeah, right.
Strap it on, buddy.
I think Griffin's got some thoughts about that, but we'll see about that in a few minutes. We're also going to be talking about the new iOS beta, which has that's an interesting new setting. And what's interesting about it, I think, is not necessarily the setting itself, but the fact that Apple put the setting in there. And we have a superb Mac Mini setup, which is part of this roundup of all these best Mac Mini setups we've ever seen, which is also very, very exciting. And we have a question from the reader about how the amazing Cult of Mac Media Machine operates. So we'll be offering
brace
secrets
yourself
about blogging. All right. So before we start, though, let's thank our sponsor, NordStellar. So we know that a lot of CIOs and CTOs and CEOs and small business owners, a lot of high rollers listen to this show. And this is the product for them. NordStellar is a threat platform that detects cyber threats that could target your company. And it's a proactive platform. So it looks for data breaches, it monitors the dark web, it checks for vulnerabilities and protects against cyber squatting. So it safeguards employees and customers from account takeovers, phishing, and identity abuse. It detects leaked credentials on the dark web early, allowing you to take action before they're exploited by hackers. And it'll even monitor your partners. It looks at, it identifies, third-party data leaks and target attacks that could put your company at risk. So it's a very comprehensive platform. This is by the people from NordVPN, which is the VPN I personally use. And these guys, they're pretty good. They have a whole bunch of different products, and this is one of theirs for helping to secure small businesses and everything up to enterprises. It offers competitive pricing, especially for small business owners, and the plans are flexible, so they scale as your business scales. So this is a chance to get proactive. Most companies act only after a breach. So be the one that's prepared. Defend your business with NordStellar and get an exclusive offer. Unlock 10% discount on NordStellar with a coupon code CultCast10. CultCast10 by going to nordstellar.com/CultCast. Just mention NordStellar. Cool. So thank you, NordStellar, for sponsoring this week's podcast. I kind of got mixed feelings about the new Vision Pro. I'm seeing different things. The M5 obviously is a superb chip. I mean, a big setup from the M2. But I'm a little skeptical. Is it really worth it? How much difference does it make? Griffin went and got. Actually, you managed to survive, didn't you? Didn't you almost get mugged coming out of the Apple Store? You're terrified that they were gonna someone was gonna whack you on the head and steal your $4,000 new computer.
Yeah, I was not actually at risk, but it was a thought that was running through my head. Like, as you're walking out of the Apple Store, I mean, the last time I got a Vision Pro, I got it delivered, but this time I wanted to film an unboxing video, so I needed it as early as possible. So I did like a 10 a.m. in-store pickup, and I realized as I'm walking between the store to my car down a street, I'm carrying this gigantic white box in a big bag walking out of an Apple store, it says Vision Pro in like big letters on the side of it. Like somebody could just like punch me in the face and just run off with it. And it wouldn't even have like the Find My Activation lock because it's not even set up yet. It's new in the box.
Well, you were lucky it was a Vision Pro. If it had been anything else, you probably
Throw it
would have got
back.
bugged. No one wants that. That's the only thing that saved you.
It's funny you mentioned this. I had actually the exact same feeling when I was walking out of the Apple store in Union Square with my bag with my iPhone in it, and I wasn't alone. I mean, there are a lot of people walking with those bags, and I was like, I'm kind of surprised that there's not like street gangs on scooters
There
zooming
were not a lot
around.
of people walking with Vision Pro bags. I'll just say that.
Yeah, right.
In fact, I was at the Apple store at opening day on launch day for the Vision Pro. The only person who was at the Vision Pro table with the new Vision Pros on display was a woman with her iPhone plugged into like the iPad on the table, like taking a phone call.
What?
Like charging her phone while she was just like talking to somebody. Nobody else there looking at the Vision Pros. No Apple employees like standing around there.
That's like a thing now, man. Pictures of the tumbleweed strewn Vision Pro table.
So how do you feel about it? When you got home and did the unboxing, what happened?
I have an unboxing video which you can find linked in the episode description. But yeah, I tried it on. I was very curious to, straight away, the dual knit band. I've got it just off screen here. So I'll show it for all of our viewers on YouTube. It's indeed got a little band on top and a band on back. Straight away, just by touching it, I can feel like the little tungsten inserts in the back. I wasn't sure like how obvious it would be, but like, in fact, I have the other one as well for comparison. Holding them side by side, I sort of noticed this when I was looking at the product pictures as well, that the old Solo knit band, like the band is a lot taller in the back. It's like wider across the back of your head. The new one isn't as wide. It's a little narrower, but also like the ribs of the stitching are a little bit thicker, to accommodate the little inserts, the weighted inserts. And you can definitely feel it. Like it feels noticeably heavier and it's a little firmer on the back of your head. Like when you're wearing it and it's like stretched across, the back of your head, it feels like it's pinching in a little more and it's a little more stiff. It's not quite as flexible. And the top band, I sort of was expecting this to be the case, and it was confirmed when I put it on. The top band of the dual knit band, the new one, doesn't sit in a very comfortable place on my head. My hairline is actually a little bit far back, but that's exactly where the top band sits, like right where my hairline starts and goes straight up. That's where it sits and like compresses it down. So it's like pushing down on my hair.
Is it uncomfortable on your hair? Does it
A
pull
little
you-
bit, yeah. And then it like, all my hair behind it is like billowing up in the back like a peacock. Like it's not very flattering. I had it on for a few hours and when I took it off, it was like a little flat in front, like not terribly comfortable.
So you're saying they did not test this with
So it,
Craig Federighi?
No,
right,
no,
yeah.
no.
Hair Force One. So is it comfortable? Is it more comfortable than the other one?
It is absolutely more comfortable than not having any top strap at all. And it's also definitely easier to use than the, I don't know what they call it. I keep forgetting what they call the other one, like the dual strap band
Right.
or whatever. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, because
The
I mean,
dual
all the original owners have already got a strap kind of like that, right? But it doesn't have the dual knit and the fancy tightening
Yeah.
mechanism.
Well, like the problem with Apple's like Velcro band, I'll just call it the dual Velcro band because that's basically what it is. It's like two Velcro straps. You have to loosen it before you put it on, and then as soon as you put on the Vision Pro, you have to like fidget with it and tighten it again. But you've also got like the weight on the front of your face, so it's not easy to do. Like the Velcro band isn't very easy, even though it does also have like that top strap. Like the great thing about the Solo knit band is that you don't have to adjust it before you take it on and take it off. You can just
Right.
like stretch it out over your head and then
Yeah.
it's already in the perfect position. You don't have to
Cool.
adjust it.
Right.
So there's like a lot of the, some people like 3D print like an adapter so that you can put on two Solo knit bands, like, a second like full size Solo knit band over the top of your head.
Oh, really? So people would hack that?
Yeah. Yeah. Or, as I mentioned previously, my preferred solution is like a product by Anna Pro called the A2 head strap. And what it does is it's like a solid white plastic thing with a little cushion, and it sort of slides onto the bridge of your Vision Pro.
Oh,
So it
cool.
clips on like around like the big white speaker pod.
Yeah.
And then that's like a really solid thing.
It doesn't mess with the audio?
No, it has a little cutout around the speaker so that the speaker can still pass through it.
And how comfortable is that one compared to the new?
It's more comfortable because what I like about the Anna Pro head strap is that it sits like right in front of my hair, like right on my forehead, almost like right on like the bone of my forehead right there. It holds it up very solidly. It doesn't wiggle really and doesn't ruin my hair, and it doesn't give me a headache after a while. So I think I still prefer the full size like solo knit band with the Anna Pro head strap. I think that's superior, in my case at least, to the dual knit strap.
It's pretty funny, isn't it? I mean, Apple released all these M5 products. They got the M5 iPad Pro, M5 MacBook Pro, M5, and the new knit strap. And the only thing that's sold out and you can't get for months is the knit strap. I mean, it's back ordered now to like the end of November or something like that. I know you pointed out that you can probably maybe walk into an Apple store and maybe pick one up. They might have stock on hand, but that's the only thing that's sold out for months.
Yeah, I acknowledge this is a better one-size-fits-all band for most people who don't have like Pixar dad hair. That's the thing to get.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
You know, put your hair up in a ponytail or just have short hair, and you're probably good. You'll probably like it more.
And the tungsten in the back, that's to counterbalance the giant thing hanging off the front of your face?
Yeah. So it does make the overall package a little heavier, but the thing is, like, it pulls on the back of your head as much as like it weighs down on your face. And you do notice, like, yeah, I don't feel like it's pushing down on my face and my forehead as much as before, which is nice. I do get like a bit of like a red mark across my forehead, you know, after I was wearing it for like 6 hours, but
Oh my
people
God!
aren't doing that. So.
This is. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was some developer conference or something in San Francisco, and there was like, I don't know, 10 people wearing Vision Pros in a room all together. It was like the dorkiest thing I've ever seen. I just you guys didn't see it? Oh my God!
Well, it's been called, the Vision Pro is now called the Dork Crown, isn't it?
The
That's
dork
a new name
crown.
for
Okay. Hey, I thought there was no kings.
So what else? What else did you notice? What about the pass-through video?
The pass-through video is marginally better, a little bit better. Apple only promised it would be 10% better. Just judging by how it looks, I'd say that's probably an accurate assessment. I haven't gone back to the M2 one after putting on after wearing the M5 one for like a full working day. I'm gonna spend another full day in the M5 Vision Pro and then like go back to it and see if I notice like a significant downgrade in quality.
Yeah. It wasn't too bad, the pass-through, was it? I mean, it wasn't great, but
in my old house, which had very poor natural lighting, like small windows, and it was very heavily shaded, it looked like looking through like the viewfinder of like a VCR camcorder from the 90s. Like everything was a little gray and staticky, just flickering a little bit, and it's a little fuzzy. My new house is much brighter on the inside, so it's actually making it a little harder to judge because it's already looking pretty good. But the pass-through video does look, I think, a little bit better. I haven't done like a reading test. I want to do that. I did notice that like just rendering apps like Safari, Notes, Slack, it all looks a little bit crisper. I was afraid that it was going to look really much better and that I would be jealous after I return the M5 version. But I wouldn't say that it's like better enough to give me like FOMO, fear of missing out. It is a little better. So, if you happen to be buying, I think this will probably be the thesis of my review. If you happen to be buying a new Vision Pro, now you'll get a better one, but M2 owners don't need to feel like they're missing out.
Well, heck yeah, right. Yeah. I don't think anyone would, I don't know. Yeah. Unless they've got money to burn. But, this is what Apple does, isn't it? I mean, this is a good example of, you put the product out on the market and then it gets better with each successive version. And they've improved the strap, they've improved, the...
Yeah, but like even when Apple does like year over year improvements, we've seen this with the M5 products the other M5 products, the iPad and the MacBook Pro. Apple put out a lot of like, this product is, 15% faster over 1 year. This product, the GPU is 30% better over 1 year. They didn't really do a lot of direct comparisons with the old Vision Pro and the new Vision Pro. They barely even acknowledge that they're different generations of the same thing at all. On the Apple Store, it's all just, Vision Pro singular. They don't acknowledge that there are two different versions of it. You kind of have to like look into their technical support documentation or, about this Vision Pro to like see that the actual product name is Apple Vision Pro parentheses M5. They don't really say that anywhere really, which is an interesting position to have it in. But yeah, I did notice that it is rendering a few more pixels, and it's most obvious when you're like reading text in Safari, or when you have like the little text input thing that like hovers over your keyboard, and it has like a little preview of what you're typing, but it's really tiny. You can read that a little better because that's one of the tiniest areas that you see in the interface. It's a bit clearer. The other thing that I noticed, I don't think this is something Apple called out anywhere. I don't know if I just got lucky this time or if this is an actual thing that's better. I've always struggled with the precise eye calibration on my M2 Vision Pro. For some reason, every time, no matter how many times I take the eye calibration test, like when you first put on the Vision Pro, you have to scan your hands, and then it shows you like a bunch of dots in a ring, and you have to look at each dot in the circle and tap your fingers so that it can calibrate to your eye, so it can do its eye tracking. On my M2 Vision Pro, it always calibrates it slightly off. It always thinks I'm looking a little bit lower than where I'm actually looking. And so I've just sort of trained myself in the Vision Pro to tap a button in like a big list. I just need to slightly look at the one above it and tap my fingers.
Really?
Yeah. It's always been slightly off. But when I set up my new Vision Pro, it got it exactly perfect. I don't know if it's something that they've improved in Vision OS 26, or if it's, maybe the
maybe because you
sensor is
moved out of a
better,
dark, dank cave and now you have some light in your life finally.
I mean,
But
from the Vision Pro's perspective, if I got the light seal on it, it should calibrate it the same.
That's
I don't
really
know,
odd.
but-
So I didn't realize you had to you always had to like look at a different button in order to hit the right button. That's
like
kinda
a lot of Vision OS native interfaces have all of their elements spaced out pretty generously. But if you're on a web page, like in WordPress or a complicated web app or something like that, and you're browsing through like a big list of links that need like precise tap targets, then yeah, I have to sort of compensate for it a little bit. But it's, man, if you get the eye calibration perfect, it feels like it's reading your mind. It is so much better. I don't know if I'll include that in my review because I don't know if that's
It sounds
actually, like, a
particular to you because
consequence of the new model or not.
I didn't have that experience at all. And it's been perfectly accurate for me. So
Yeah. When I go back to my M2 Vision Pro, I'll probably just like do the eye calibration over and over again and just like wait until it gets it exactly perfect. Because it is really nice.
could you not fake it? Could you not look slightly higher when you're doing the test in order to?
I tried doing
Trick
that
it.
when I was setting up the M5 Vision Pro the first time. And then I realized I went in the wrong direction and it was like way off. I was like, no, I should just try doing it, honestly. And then it worked much better.
Cool.
The other new thing about the Vision Pro is that they've tweaked, what comes in the box, not just the straps, but they also give you the new Apple 40 to 60 watt adaptive power thing. This is really nice. It's like half the size of the power adapter that they gave you with the old one. Like with the old Vision Pro, they gave you like one of the MacBook ones. It's like big and square. This thing is really awesome. It has, the little, it has like tiny little divots in the side, so you can like
pull out
easily
the
grab
wall.
it and pull it out of the wall. It has no cutouts in the little outlet things. It's just straight
Oh,
Why is
squares.
that? What
Yeah,
are
it's
those?
a
What
little-
are those even for? Now that you mention it,
I don't know, but this one doesn't have it, and it it looks cleaner, but it looks a little uncanny, like a little interesting. Single USB-C port on the bottom, and it charges much faster. I guess typically at 40 watts, but then it can also power boost up to 60 watts. I should do a charging test and see how much faster it charges, but it's pretty cool. I really like it.
well worth $4,000.
Oh yes, when I return it, I think I'm going to keep my Vision Pro polishing cloths so that I can have two special Apple polishing cloths that say Vision Pro on the bottom. I don't think they mark that against a return. So
Have you compared that polishing cloth? Because I saw somebody somebody did a detailed YouTube comparison.
You're kidding me.
No, between V1 and V2 of the polishing cloth.
I can do that right now. I'll scooch over and get it.
I was just joking, by the way.
Well, let's see. Here's the version 1 polishing cloth. It's a bit wrinkly since it's been in the bag for a while.
Oh my God, look at that
compared to
one.
our fresh one.
You've really abused your polishing cloth. You're not going to be able to trade that in.
It just crumples up and gets thrown in the bottom of the bag where it gets crumpled up over
My
time.
God, that's a $40 polishing cloth, isn't it?
I guess I need to iron it. We'll see.
Is
It's
it?
exactly the same.
Wow, I'm surprised.
But if our viewers aren't aware and they're curious, it's special because if you look really closely, it says Apple Vision Pro on the bottom.
Oh, very cool. That's perfect for your Apple junk collection. You could probably get that framed.
Maybe
What
I
about
will.
what is the other one? The other one doesn't have Vision Pro on it.
The typical Apple polishing cloth does not say Vision Pro on it. It's just blank. But for the Vision Pro, they give you a special embroidered one.
Cool. Is it? How does it compare to the Cult cloth though? I don't think it really. It's still an inferior product compared to the Cult cloth, right?
Yeah, I mean, with the Cult cloth, you're getting a very premium dual layer special nano texture science cloth. So it's better
Right.
and cheaper.
Yeah, and the Cult cloth is double sided, isn't it? You have.
Yeah,
Ex-
yeah.
fi-
There
Two
are
ways to
multiple styles
clean.
of Cult cloth. There's the big. It's also bigger. There's also the Cult cloth duo, which is fuzzy and scratchy on one side and slightly differently fuzzy and scratchy on the other side.
Well, I don't think scratchy is the word, the right word there. It's better for large cleaning jobs, isn't it? For the first pass to get all the kind of all the grit and the grime and crud off, and then the other side is more like for polishing.
Yeah, and it gets it has like little nobules in it that like reach into all the cracks and pull out dust.
That's right, exactly. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to your review. It's such a shame that the Vision Pro isn't more popular because it is such a magical experience inside.
It is excellent at what it does. I think it's the most exciting technology product you can buy. It is also the most expensive, but it is very exciting to have. Like
that's a
every
good
new
point.
version of Vision OS brings new like fun things to try out. It's great.
Well, Samsung this week, of course, released their XR headset, didn't they? The Vision Pro knockoff, and of course, comes in at what is it, $1,800? So it's half the price. And I saw a lot of people crowing about that, saying, "Look, this is Apple's market." But of course, Apple. I haven't seen anyone do a direct comparison, but isn't the XR a knockoff? I mean, Apple's paying for all the R&D, which Samsung doesn't have to pay for, right? Because they just copy what Apple's done. Is that fair? Is that true? I mean,
I haven't looked at the specs of that, but if I were to guess, it's probably not as powerful. I mean, the M5 is Apple's very latest computer level chip. It's powerful, and it's the fastest version of like their entry level desktop computer chip. They say it has the fastest CPU cores in the world, and that's what you get if you buy the M5 Vision Pro. So you're getting like a full powered computer. And I also haven't looked at much into Google's like new XR version of Android, but it is ultimately based on Android, so it's not going to have all of the niceties that Vision OS has, and the app support isn't going to be that great. iPad apps are better than Android apps. Android, you have to start from a good starting point. iPad OS is a great starting point. As far as I know, like Android is a really good phone operating system, but its tablet operating system is kind of crummy. So
yeah.
That's my impression of it.
I like to go check it out. I've got an old Meta headset, which was really crummy compared to the Vision OS experience. It was kind of like night and day. It's nowhere near as polished or as intuitive or as easy to use. I didn't like it very much. I haven't actually strapped it back on.
I've used it as well, and I will say like it's not as good, but is it actually like 1/7 as good? Because it is, the Vision Pro is 7 times more expensive, and I don't know if the Vision Pro is 7 times better. If you want to play games, I think the Meta Quest is honestly the better purchase because there aren't a lot of games for the Vision Pro, but they're different trade-offs.
Yeah, right.
Actually, on the topic of games, I will say that The one area where the M2 Vision Pro does kind of feel a little slow and underpowered is when you're playing full like VR games. Job Simulator is a pretty old VR game. I think it came out like 10 years ago, but it only recently got like its Vision Pro port to it. And playing those games is like the only time when I actually hear like the fans come on and feel it get a little warm. I haven't tried that yet on the M5 one, but I'll report back. That's what I have yet to test tomorrow. And
Yeah, you got to put it through its
weekend.
paces on some kind of like really compute intensive task to see what the difference is. I mean, this is a developer device. I mean, to be honest, isn't it? It's not an end consumer device. No one's buying this just to watch Netflix. This is being sold to people who are developing applications for the next generation of AR headsets. So we shouldn't be too harsh on it. Let's talk about the latest iOS beta, which came out on Monday. This, of course, is a developer beta. And this now includes what I think is a highly contentious new toggle so you can turn off liquid glass. It makes it less transparent. So it's pretty easy to do. You just go into the settings app and you open up display and brightness, tap on liquid glass and choose between the clear or tinted options. And of course, I just tried this on my phone, but then realized I'm not running the beta. So I couldn't actually see this. But this is now... Apple says on the screen, choose your preferred look for liquid glass. Clear is more transparent, revealing the content beneath. Tinted increases opacity and adds more contrast. Now, this is separate from the reduced transparency accessibility setting, which makes more dramatic changes to the appearance of liquid glass across the system. So, of course, what happened to Apple's conviction in liquid glass? I mean, they now you got to toggle to turn it off. This, of course, I think is the most controversial aspect of it. When is Apple, they've done this a couple of times, haven't they? With the Photos app, you can revert back to the old Photos design.
The Safari browser,
Right.
whatever, search box or URL box. What is it called? I can't even remember. Omnibox.
bottom toolbar. Yeah.
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 But
So-
I mean, even going back to like macOS 10 Aqua, like they had an option where if you didn't want it to be as colorful, you could change it from like the colorful version to graphite, which would turn all of the blue things gray, and like the multicolored, traffic lights in every window control gray.
Really?
And-
That was a setting in macOS 10?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it didn't remove all the pinstripes and transparency things, but it did make it like 10% less fun, so that people who are using their Power Mac G4s could feel like they were using a real computer and not one of those toy iMacs. But
Yeah. Wow, so that's interesting. I actually wasn't aware of that. So this has a long tradition, then, I guess, of it's because people said, "Oh my God, Steve Jobs would never do this." Steve Jobs would, he told you how to use your computer. He wouldn't give users that choice. But that's interesting. If it goes back all the way back to, I mean, because that came out in when 2000 and
2001.
wow, crikey, so long ago I can't even remember. Yeah, so I guess Apple does have a history of doing this then, huh? Mm-hmm. Interesting, but they don't do it too often, do they? It's not very often they do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and the other thing is like Apple still hasn't like pushed the button to automatically update everybody's phones. iOS 26 is still kind of opt-in, so
Yeah.
much like the developer betas over the summer, this is the people who are being the most vocal about liquid glass so far are still pretty much nerds like us who want it, and the people who are just curious about it, who know that liquid glass is coming and want to see how it looks.
Yeah.
We still haven't seen like the general public reaction. We still haven't had like the iOS 7 moment where where everybody updates and like, oh my God, what happened? The liquid glass update is less dramatic than going from iOS 6 to iOS 7. I think a lot of people update and like barely notice the difference, honestly, because some people, for some reason, just aren't very, don't have a very good attentive eye to these sorts of things. But
Well, God, my mom, 84-year-old mom, she noticed everything. She was like, "Oh my God, look at the new camera icon. Look at this, look at that. It's all bubbly." She loves it. She was totally delighted about it. I thought she was going to complain bitterly because I updated her iPad and her iPhone, but no, she's like super into it. It's like it's really funny. She's always been kind of like a sort of fairly adventurous like that. I mean, she's completely technology obsessed. She spends all day, every day on a bloody iPhone and her iPad. But my wife, on the other hand, hated it. She was like, "Oh my God, what happened here? Why they keep changing it? I just finally got used to it. Now it's all different." She definitely was not interested in it at all. So I got
Yeah.
both reactions.
My mom has also updated, and she really likes it. So I don't think she'll be turning on that toggle either, but she's a big fan.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder what the proportion. Actually, we should do a poll, shouldn't we? Well, unfortunately, the Cult and Back newsletter audience isn't going to be a good sample because
Whose
this is
moms
all-
have installed liquid glass?
Yeah, maybe we should do it like that way. Yeah. Well, anyway, so that's interesting though. I didn't realize that Apple had done this before in the past. So that actually adds a whole new perspective on it. I was ready to like go on a rant about oh my God, what happened to Apple's conviction and its design. I mean, because they've been working on this for years, haven't they? And they actually made liquid. They made this physically, didn't they? To slide around in the design studio to actually see how it looked. So all the effort they put into it. Now you can just turn it off. Crazy. I like it. I think it's actually pretty good. I haven't had any problems really. I mean, there are some opacity problems, but there've always been opacity problems. There've always been like with the cutout. That includes content sometimes. So there's always been problems with content. Sometimes you have to move it around. You've got to jiggle it a little bit. It's not really that big a deal. Although I did start. I downloaded this hideous. I don't like the wallpaper. Oh, the official wallpaper. No, it's horrible. But I haven't had a chance to get rid of it yet. But I shall definitely be doing that. Yeah, liquid glass.
I don't even notice it that much. There are times when I see it and it's like, oh, that looks really cool. There are other times I just get this kind of like, certain things look sort of like they're not really fully baked, like even just, I was looking at the phone numbers, whatever they're called, what is it called?
The numbers on like the dial pad.
Yeah, the
phone.
dial pad. Yeah, and like the circles around that are like thinner at I don't know 1 and 7 o'clock, right? There, and it just kind of looks, I don't know, just a little unfinished or something. It doesn't really look dramatic. It looks kind of just slightly not great. Then there are other things where I see something and it's like, oh, that looks really cool. That the way that glass interface kind of grows. But I don't know. It's weird. It's not anywhere near as kind of pervasive and revolutionary as I was expecting when I downloaded it.
A lot of third-party apps still have yet to adopt liquid glass. Like I was actually kind of surprised that Slack rolled out a liquid glass update as early as it did. But I mean, my number 1 and number 2 apps, Mona, which is like my Mastodon client, and NetNewsWire. NetNewsWire, it's still a work in progress, so it still has the iOS 18 design. Mona, I had to sign up for their test flight to get the early access version of the liquid glass. And even then it's just, converted the regular elements to be more bubbly and clear. It hasn't done like the special like minimizing toolbar or any of the other fancy like iOS 26 style changes yet. So, a lot of it is dependent on how much third-party apps you use. Like if you spend all your days in like TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, you'll never really notice it. So.
Right. Well, I know it's in Slack. I liked it in Slack. I thought it actually looked really good. I thought it was a nice change.
I think Slack would actually be a good candidate for having like the little toolbar that minimizes down to one button, because almost the entire time I'm using Slack, I never go to like the special DMs or notifications tabs. I'm almost always just in the home tab. So I wouldn't mind if that, shrank down.
Yeah.
More of the...
Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about the next story, which is we've got some new rumors about the foldable iPhone, and this is actually really interesting. It's detailing the screen size and a possible delay to the device. But Griffin's going to tell us all about this. Griffin.
Yeah, sad news. Japanese investment firm. Oh, I should have looked up how to pronounce this in advance. A Japanese investment firm says Apple may need more time to finalize the foldable iPhone's critical design elements, particularly the device's hinge mechanism, according to a report by The Elec. While a 2026 launch remains possible, production challenges could push the release back by, into the next year as Apple works to perfect the hardware specifications. We have new specs on the displays. The foldable iPhone is expected to feature a 7.56-inch internal display. That might not sound big, but, it'll be a square aspect ratio, so it'll actually be bigger than that sounds. On the inside, and a 5.38-inch external screen. These dimensions are slightly smaller than earlier reports had suggested. Previous expectations pointed to a 7.8-inch and 5.5-inch displays. Although this is a little tricky because as soon as Apple moved to displays that have the corners rounded off, how they actually, calculate the display size is a little bit nuanced. So it's because Apple measures the display to the imaginary square corner that doesn't exist.
I see.
So I think it's possible that these displays will be 7.58 inches from the actual corner to the actual corner, but Apple might still call it 7.8. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, here's the best part, though. The best part is...
When folded, the device would essentially match the size of Apple's discontinued iPhone mini, which had a 5.4-inch screen. The inner display would become the largest iPhone screen ever produced, about the size of an iPad mini. This is why I'm so excited for the folding iPhone. Right. I was never taken by the iPhone 12 mini because I was too sad that it didn't have the telephoto lens, and I never ended up buying it. I would have bought it if it had a telephoto lens instead of an ultra-wide lens, but that's beside the point. I had to deal with a phone that was too big, and then Apple discontinued the mini size, so I had to get another phone that's too big. I'm so excited for the folding iPhone because I will have both the biggest iPhone and the smallest iPhone in one. It is a dream come true.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. Yeah. I'm super psyched about it.
Yeah.
That form factor is perfect. It's brilliant.
Mm-hmm. This Japanese investment firm reported that expected panel production has decreased from 13 million units down to 9 million units. Even if Apple launches the foldable iPhone in 2026 as planned, first-year production is projected at just 5 to 7 million units, well below initial panel production estimates. The conservative production forecast reflects Apple's cautious approach to pricing, with the device expected to cost over $2,000. For comparison, Samsung's Galaxy Z Fold 7 launched at $2,380. So this could be pricey. Apple sometimes surprises us on price, but I think the rule is that if the Samsung one costs $2,380, then you can comfortably round up to $2,499 for the foldable iPhone, which isn't great. And I think Apple's, with the economy going the way that it is, they're not forecasting that people will be buying $2,000 phones in
$2,500 phones. Yeah, you get 2 iPad Pros for that.
The foldable iPhone will probably launch alongside the iPhone 18 Pro, Pro Max, and Air models in fall 26 if the timeline unfolds. However, Apple may delay it to go alongside the standard iPhone 18 and iPhone 18e in spring 27. If that happens, I'll be sad because I'm so ready for the foldable iPhone.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
You would pay that much for one? That's just outrageous.
It'll only be the second least financially irresponsible decision I've made here. So,
right, exactly.
Oh my God,
that's a lot of money, isn't it? That's you could get 2 iPhones for that, couldn't you? I mean, that's what I might do. Just buy 2 regular iPhones and tape them together.
You get a solid used car,
or 4 iPhone 16es.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think about that, and it's I think how many times I use my iPhone a day. And you think about unfolding a thing that many times. I mean, that's going to get tiresome.
Well, it's an external screen, so you don't have to unfold it. For the quick interactions. Oh, what's that notification? Oh, what's the weather? What's coming up on the calendar? You can use the external screen.
Yeah,
you actually
use
use your Apple Watch that often for that?
It's on. It's always right there. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This whole thing sounds crazy. I've seen people. I know a guy who has one of those folding Samsung ones, and it's sits there and he opens it and he closes it and he opens it. It's a lot of opening and closing. I guess you don't have to. I guess he doesn't have to close it every time. He can just leave it sitting there open. But
yeah. This is. I imagine using the bigger screen for the times when you're sitting down with your phone for half an hour. You're playing a game. You're listening to a podcast. You're watching a video over lunch. That sort of thing.
Yeah, most of the time it remains closed.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the worst thing is the phone-sized things that fold down even smaller, so you actually can't use your phone without unfolding it. That's pointless.
Like a flip phone, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, so talking about expensive products, this is not the only pricey one that Apple's going to be coming up with. These are an even more expensive foldable iPad.
I love this headline. Ed, who wrote this story, came up with this headline. Even Apple realizes a $3,000 foldable iPad is sheer lunacy. No opinion in that. Let's see. So we've heard about this 18-inch foldable iPad. Rumors for a while. It's currently in a prototype stage. This latest report comes from Bloomberg. He says, when closed, the device resembles a Mac laptop with an aluminum enclosure on both sides. When opened, it's about the size of a 13-inch laptop. So more portable than the smallest current Apple laptop, but usually be able to work on a touch screen larger than the display in the biggest MacBook Pro. There's no external screen, just the one that folds inward. That kind of threw me when I read it, I remember. But so basically, you got a clamshell, metal clamshell. You open it up, you got a giant iPad. However, Apple is reportedly struggling to turn its vision into a reality. The estimated price tag for the folding iPad is a whopping $3,000, roughly triple that of even the priciest iPad Pro.
That's only $500 more than a folding iPhone.
Yeah, jeez, yeah, right. I mean, you start getting into the thousands, it gets a little complicated. Another problem, developers working on the folding iPad supposedly face technical hurdles. The prototype currently weighs about 3.5 pounds, according to Bloomberg, which is pretty hefty. 3 times the weight of the current iPad Pro. And recent rumors point to the folding iPad reaching customers and store shelves in 2028, but that might be optimistic. Bloomberg sources now point to a release in 2029 or even later, given the engineering challenges.
Are we even going to be alive then?
Don't start talking like that. It does seem a long way away, though.
Yeah, crikey. It does sound cool, though, doesn't it? Although the thing sounds like it's going to be a beast, heavy. But
Well, I was actually curious about this. It's not actually... It sounds like it's still in the ballpark of the weight of a regular, 11-inch iPad Air inside a Magic Keyboard. The Magic Keyboard also triples
really
the weight of
freaking
an
heavy.
iPad.
Those things are really crazy heavy, aren't they?
It's about the same as a MacBook Air.
It just seems worse because it's attached to it, and I don't know, man. To me, they feel heavy as can be. Every time my wife has one of those, every time I pick it up, I'm like, good God, what? I don't know. MacBook seems like doesn't seem like it weighs that much. It's weird how things like the weight could be the same, but the way that it fits in your hand makes it seem different.
Because it's thicker and denser. It just feels like it's heavier.
Yeah.
And an 18-inch screen that's a lot of glass as well, isn't it? Really, that's 2 big slabs of glass. But an 18-inch screen that's going to be a really sizable screen, isn't it? That's going to be a big screen. And like you said, it's going to be more square, right? The aspect ratio. So it'll be pretty large when it's folded out. I mean, there'll be a lot of screen. Maybe it'll be really cool. It does sound kind of cool.
It sounds like desktop display size,
Yeah.
No keyboard.
That's true. That's also before a keyboard. So I don't know. I don't know what accessories that would come with it are.
Yeah, I don't know. So many times I would hear these things. It's just so hard to imagine what the actual use case would be for it. Here's a giant screen that folds in half and doesn't have a keyboard. Okay, great. I guess I can prop it up somehow and watch a video. I don't know. It seems, especially at $3,000. I mean, whoa, that is a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's $500 less than a Vision Pro. It's perfectly priced between those 2 products.
At least the Vision Pro, does something different. It just sounds like this is just going to be a larger iPad that folds down. And does anybody really need a larger iPad?
Does anybody need an iPad on your face?
Yeah, well, I still think that the Vision Pro is one of the weirdest things to contemplate using around another human being. But, I don't know. iPad, the regular iPad Pro, the big one, is already pretty gigantic, and, the thing that I've used those most for is, reading sheet music. Great for that. But does it need to be bigger? Not really. I mean, I don't know. I guess bigger is better for some things, but it just seems like a giant waste of money.
Well, we'll see. That's a good point, though, isn't it? I wonder whether this will turn like the iPhone Air. They're going all in on foldables. They're adding these new products. And without, the Air doesn't have a clear use case, does it? It's form over function. It's there just purely because it's thin. And a report this week said that Apple's going to be cutting production 80%.
Right, that was shocking.
There's almost no demand at all for this. I wonder whether they'll face a similar situation with these foldables.
Well, people who have been actually watching television, imagine that, have been saying that Apple hasn't been running any ads for the iPhone Air. All of the ads have been for the orange iPhone, 17? Is that what we're on?
Yeah.
17 Pro.
It gets hard to remember, doesn't it? Yeah, that's true. I see those ads all over the place. 17 Pro. Barely. I don't know if I've seen any billboards for the Air.
I honestly think the Air would sell twice as much if they gave the fun, big, bold colors to the Air and ran ads on that, and kept the Pro as being like 7 shades of gray.
Yeah, I wonder why they didn't make it some interesting colors. It's just it's kind of weird. I mean, it's almost like only one color, but. I don't know, man. I still think that, I didn't buy one. I haven't ever used one, but man, picking that thing up in the store was like amazing. It's like, this is, to me, there is an actual use case for that. A phone that is light as can be. It seems amazing when you pick it up. And
the thing is, it's not like Apple's ads are always like, ooh, this is the iPhone 17 Pro. It can take 4 to 8x optical quality telephoto. They're not filled with specs. It's basically just look at this phone. It's the new one.
Right.
You could easily run an ad for the iPhone Air that would be just as compelling.
Yeah, I bet you if it was the same price as the regular iPhone, they would have sold more of them. Although I'm sure that the biggest fear factor was the battery life. Everybody was just terrified that they would have it and it would last half a day. Mm-hmm. And the camera, that's another thing. Those are the two big downsides, right? But everything I've heard is like, well, this camera is totally fine for people who aren't into long telephoto shots.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. It's a totally capable device. I saw something on Twitter. What's his name? Snazzy Labs, the guy behind that. He dropped his. He said it slid 50 feet down the hill or something, down some rock face on its screen, and it got a bit bumped up, the titanium, but there was only like 2 or 3 minute scratches on the screen itself. So he was kind of amazed at its longevity, its durability, how strong it was.
God, that would be a. Can you imagine just watching the thing slide down the hill? Oh my God!
Right.
Just about jump off a cliff rather than face it.
You probably you could try throw your body down there to try to protect your phone. It's a shame. It's a pity, really. But I had no real desire. I get it though. I got no real desire to buy it. I'm quite happy with my iPhone Pro. It does. It's got the cameras and the battery life. I think the things that are you really care about, rather than the size and the weight.
Yeah, I guess.
Aren't we all in the same boat? None of us have prioritized that over the.
It's true. Yeah.
I'm glad that I wasn't buying a new phone this year, because I would have a hard time, making the decision. I really loved the iPhone Air when I had it.
Yeah, I don't know. Every time I go to the store, and I always go and look at one. It's not like I'm staring at a Vision Pro. I go over and I look at the iPhone Air and I pick it up and I go, geez, what if I had gotten this? Would I be? Would it be just fine? It's weird. It's actually a device that I kind of lust after, and I haven't. The thing is, I've already got the Pro, right? So like the idea of exchanging it somehow, I've had so many problems just getting the iPhone set up this time, and it every year I have the same experience. Like, oh my God, now I have to log into like every single freaking app on my phone, and everything you go to do there's this friction, and it's just so annoying. Annoying. It actually is making me think. Like I actually was like, maybe I'm going to just get off of this iPhone upgrade program, because I don't like doing it every year. Because I've already had it for a month, and I'm still running into things that I still have to like log in, and then let's send you a password, so I got to go check my email. It's like, how many lost minutes have been spent doing that? Mm-hmm. Every publishing tool, it's just so annoying.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
First world problem, I know, but it's so painful that it almost makes me wonder, should I just skip the iPhone next year?
Interesting, yeah. Well, it's compounded with, but this is because you're working on a computer all day with the same problems, isn't it? It's exactly the same issues. I mean, you're dealing with that with work, and now you're going to do it on your personal device too. It's adding insult to injury.
Right. It's like, oh, I upgraded. Now I'm going to get, hammered for a month with just annoying little tasks.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. We should memorialize this. If you're actually going to freeze, you're going to stop. That's it. No more upgrades. We'll come back and check in a few years and see how that went.
I'm sure,
Meanwhile, you're hanging out your nose pressed to the glass of the Apple store, looking at the iPhone Air, wondering if you maybe should have got that instead.
Yeah.
You'll never ever be able to reconcile that. You're always going to be wondering. You're setting yourself up for torture.
What if they kill the thing next year? You think they will? I mean, the rumors have always said that there's going to be an iPhone Air 2, but these latest things, like they basically said, oh, it came out in China and it was, they bought a lot of them, but after that first day or whatever, just boom, all demand evaporated. Everybody who wanted one got one. Now nobody cares.
Don't they basically run this story every year? Like Apple cuts its production figures. They always cut their production figures just because they make more in advance and pair up for the holiday quarter. How much of this is actually unique to the iPhone Air?
I don't know. This sounded pretty pretty drastic.
Well, this sounded like not the routine cut, but an extraordinary cut. This is like, it's a bust. And I imagine when they plan it, I bet they plan for at least two generations, because the next generation would be just like a spec bump, right? Maybe a chip bump. And
they start designing these years in advance. So yeah, they've probably already plotted out like what the next 4 phones are going to be. They're probably working on them that far in advance, at least. So
it's I figured as well that this is going to be the kind of phone that you've got to see and touch and feel to experience, to get it. You can watch as many ads, you can hit as many podcasts and read as many blog posts as you like about how it's wonderfully thin and light, but you've got to have that sensory experience in order to be seduced, which obviously Lewis has. So maybe it will gain traction. But they haven't had a lot of luck with all with the extra models anyway, have they? Like, the Mini was a bust. Some of the cheaper phones that they tried to put out were big busts.
Right. Well, so I bet you there'll be a lot of people like over the holidays who go and for the first time they'll see one of these things and they'll talk to somebody who has used it for a couple of months, and they'll ask them, well, is your battery life okay? And they're like, yeah, it's fine. Or the camera's okay? Yeah, it's fine. So I bet it does gain steam. I bet people, they will be reassured that those are not really big problems with that device. And they'll say, wow, it really is nice and light.
And the lack of advertising is a good point. Like I see the Pro phones advertised all the time. Maybe they got a campaign that they haven't rolled out yet, around the Christmas holiday period. It seems like it's a good gift phone, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is truly exciting. I mean, I can imagine if I was like a kid, a teenager, and I got one of those for Christmas, I'd be like, whoa, look at this thing. Look how cool this is. I don't know. Maybe kids these days don't even care about phones, but surely they do.
Oh my God, no, they're all in. Yeah, no, just the opposite. They're all in on the phones. It's all about the phones. Although actually, my kids are quite happy with their older phones. They got the old hand-downs, and they're kind of happy with that. In fact, I tried to upgrade my son. He's got an iPhone 10. We gave him a hand down. I can't remember what it is, 13 or something like that, and he's completely disinterested in it now.
I mean, one of the remarks that people made about it while I was testing it was, "Oh, I like how it doesn't have 3 cameras on the back. Like the giant camera base on the back is ugly. A lot of people think they're ugly. This one doesn't have it. It's just one camera. It's really nice."
Yeah.
It does look really nice.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see how it folds out. Interesting. Let's talk about, we had a great post this week about the 10 best mighty Mac Mini workstation setups. So Dave did a roundup of all the best setups, work from home setups he's seen that are based around the Mac Mini. And we're going to showcase one of them here. And for people who aren't able to see the picture, I'll paint you a picture of what we're seeing here. So we've got an iPad Mini plugged into an external display. I beg your pardon, an iPad plugged into an external display. It doesn't say it's and with a Mac Mini that's mounted behind a 5K Samsung Viewfinity S9 screen. It's a dark room with moody, colorful lighting. It's a white desk with a felt desk mat and an Apple Magic Keyboard and Magic Mouse. The monitor's on a monitor stand with a potted plant and a HomePod Mini, and two big speakers on stands clamped to each side of the desk. And this is a very, very handsome setup. Very, very beautiful. Really nice lighting. I love all the little felt pads and the felt desk pad he's got there. And he's even got a light bar that's going across the top of the monitor. This is a very, very nice setup.
Wow.
And the Mac Mini, of course, like is a scorching machine, especially now the new M5. I'm sorry, what am I talking about? The M4 one is going on sale now, isn't it? So you can get it for what is it, $100 off typically? It's $4.99.
Yeah.
Crazy for a computer of that quality.
It is ironic in this setup is included in the list of top Mac Mini setups, and the Mac Mini is nowhere to be seen. In fact, the iPad is the one driving the display, and you can tell because it has the gigantic dock, and there's no menu bar at the top, so not much of a Mac Mini setup. Allegedly, there's a Mac Mini there, but
maybe it switches it out.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not like it takes up that much desk space. He could have it on the desk, behind the iPad, and it would be easier to reach.
Is that a switch there behind it, underneath the monitor riser, so he can switch between the Mac Mini and the iPad for the monitor?
Possibly. I can't really tell. It looks like I seen like a big round analog dial. I don't know if that's
it looks more like an audio interface,
something.
maybe.
Yeah, I mean, one of the great things about the new M5, or sorry, now I'm doing it too. The M4 Mac Mini is that it has two ports on the front for easy plugging in if you have it.
So let's hide it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's weird. What is that thing on the right? Looks like a hockey puck.
The big felt pad under his keyboard and mouse. To the right, he has like two felt or hexagonal shaped coasters. I mean, points for hexagons. They're one of the best shapes. But on one of them, he just has like this plastic disc thing. I don't know what that is or what it does.
Yeah, I can't. It literally does look like a hockey puck.
My guess is maybe it's like a dial that controls the volume of those big speakers, but I have no idea if that's...
There's no wires coming off of it or
not.
anything, is it? It looks like...
Actually, now I'm seeing there's a little remote control under the.
Well, that's pretty funny.
Appears to be a remote control.
That's in a MacBook riser, isn't it? Something for holding a MacBook.
Yeah, it looks like it. Like one of those, I think, M stands or something like that holds your MacBook vertically, and he has a little remote control sitting in there. Maybe that controls the volume of those big speakers. I'm not sure, but a lot of strange, unexplained objects on this desk, including a little lumpy thing between his monitor and the potted plant on the right. I don't know what that's supposed to be. The image is a little too dark to make it out.
It looks like a meteorite or something like that.
I'll tell you what, though, man. I look at this and I just go, what is wrong with my life? How can I... My desk looks like, somebody robbed me overnight. Mm-hmm. They just went in and I looked the other day, there's like a speaker on the floor, the cat's playing with it, it's making weird noises. It's kind of pathetic.
Yeah, mine too. I covered all kinds of crap. I got boxes over here. Nice setup. Anyway, it's a good post, isn't it? I thought there were some really nice setups in there. These are setups that people have been sharing.
Some of them actually include visible Mac Minis.
Yeah,
believe it or not.
Unlike the one we showcased.
Well, you know what? To be fair, the headline on that story was "Good luck finding the Mac Mini in this workstation."
Okay.
So there you go.
Let's move on to a question from a listener called WR Dink Wordink. Griffin, why don't you say what he's read out the question?
Sure. He says, I have a question about your blogging workflow. I assume you start writing in a word processor and copy paste into the website later. How many articles do you write in a day? In a week? Do you source all the photos, links, videos yourself? So I was making fun of this a little bit in the Discord, that he is asking this question, how many articles do we write? And he is asking that to the three people at Cult of Mac who write the least.
Right.
Yeah,
but
right. Well, it used to be in the old days, when I was a reporter, I tried to do at least one reported story a day, and often 2 or 3 blog posts, and that would be like sometimes it'd be a bit more if there was a lot going on, 3 or 4 blog posts. But I guess the Ed and Dave, who do most of the news posts, it depends on, of course, what you're trying to do too. If it's news posts, then you can usually crank those out pretty quickly because you're reacting to some new information that's broken. If it involves some work, some reporting work, a lot of research, and oh my god, then it can be a real rabbit hole. You can spend, like me, I've been working for weeks on a couple of posts that still haven't seen the light of day.
For a week, right? For a week.
Right. I found a couple of weeks ago. I tried to do 4 in 1 week. I did not manage to do 1.
You meant 4 weeks.
It should have been 1 in 4 weeks, not 4 in 1 week. Yeah, well, of course, and we're all working differently. Griffin, one of the blogging in the top 10 list of blogging rules, one is never work in the CMS, the content management system. So, which of course we use WordPress to publish the website. So you never ever work in WordPress. So every single blog post I do, I immediately open up a WordPress window and I start working in WordPress, which is the number one rule that you should never ever do. Because if anything goes wrong, you lose all your work.
I'll say that feels like one of those rules that was learned like 15 years ago and people just keep repeating because it's a bit of a meme. Modern WordPress, it saves your stuff in a cookie in the browser. It crashes all the time and it saves your work in progress. I don't know if that's like a hard and fast rule anymore. It's not like, typing in a form on any old form on any old crummy website and like anytime you reload the page, it's all just poof gone. WordPress has gotten better about that.
Well,
that's my justification for sometimes writing in the CMS. But
yeah. Well, you write in Mars Edit, don't you, Griffin?
Yeah, if I'm on the Mac, I use Mars Edit, which is a desktop app that's basically written for the express purpose of publishing to WordPress. So the great thing is that it's like completely compatible. You don't have to do any, you can still write and do like rich formatting. You don't have to write it in raw HTML. It understands WordPress very well. You can even like upload pictures to WordPress through Mars Edit and it'll tie in with your media library. But I'm a little scared to do that since we do, being a website the size and age of ours, we of course have like a lot of custom stuff going on. So I don't bother trying to do that. But Mars Edit is really excellent when I'm on my Mac. But of course it's only on the Mac. It's not on iOS or, certainly not Vision OS. So if I'm writing a product review, I always like to write the product review on the product itself. I even wrote most of my iPhone Air review, like typing out on the iPhone Air keyboard.
What kind of a weird...
What kind of wacko workflow is that?
This explains a lot.
Yeah, right.
Well, and so when I'm doing that, I just write it in the Notes app. And now in iOS 26, you can export a Note app to Markdown, and it'll keep all of its formatting in Markdown. And then from there, it's pretty easy to convert Markdown to HTML, which I upload into WordPress. So it's a little bit convoluted.
God.
Luckily, that's not my usual workflow.
Having like a Charlie Sorrell flashback.
Yeah, right. Well, the last thing you want to do is write in a word processor because it transfers a lot of the formatting. It's easier to transfer over a lot of formatting, a lot of like bad HTML and weird wacky code. Like I write, if I'm writing, I usually use BB Edit, which is a text editor and usually used for programming. But that's a great one. I really like BB Edit. That's one of my favorite text editing applications. Like
very
Word.
storied classic Mac app. BB Edit.
Yeah. It goes back a long way. Great app. Yeah, I don't like working in Word. Word is like big, fat, bloated, horrible mess.
Pages.
Sometimes I use
Pages.
I don't like Pages.
Nobody
very much
uses
either.
Pages.
I use Pages, but not for writing blog posts. Because again, I mean, you can copy and paste things without formatting, but then if you wrote any bold text in your post or added any links, then those won't be copied over. So that's complicated. But yeah, I like Pages. Pages is a good for many things, but not for blog posts.
That's what I use for first draft.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I just copied in the code, the code editor or whatever. Yeah. And then I usually finish it off by adding all the links and stuff like that. But what was this question also asking about? Do we source all the pictures? I mean, a lot of times we have to create images. Yeah. Mm-hmm. A lot of times.
Well, the one thing that we've been burned a lot of times with copyrighted images, and we used to be very, very fast and loose posting up pictures of Steve Jobs, from Getty and all that kind of stuff, and then they get a really nasty demand for payment and damages. So we had we've got to be very, very careful that any of the images we use, we have permission to use. So copyright is a big thing. We often go to copyright-free resources like Pexels.
Oh yeah, I use Pexels all the time.
Unsplash.
And like Lewis said, started using AI tools now to make images too. Trying not to do that too much.
It doesn't look like you're trying very hard.
Well, it depends, and then of course we take our own images, don't we? So for reviews, stuff where we have the products on hand, we take our own images. So we try to take a lot of our own images, and of course it's easier than ever. Like with the iPhone cameras now, they're so good. Of course, it's not easy to get a good image, but at least you get an original one that we're not going to get sued for copyright for.
I'll say for my workflow, part of the thing that I use all the time is I download all of the Apple keynotes and presentations onto my big giant external hard drive. There's actually a way you can do this. If you go to the podcast app, you can search Apple Events Video, and that's basically an RSS feed in the podcast app. Of high quality video versions of all of Apple's presentations. I download those for archiving, and I'll pull images from those all the time because any of Apple's images, they're made for the express purpose of marketing. You just have to attribute it, image from Apple. But I use those, Apple's newsroom posts. If you scroll to the bottom of any of those, there's a link where you can download all of the images and videos out of those. Especially in my video production, if I'm making a video for YouTube and Apple's talking about the Photos app as an example. Well, I don't always want to show my own Photos library. I don't always, if it's just a really quick offhanded mentioned thing, I don't want to spend half an hour sanitizing my photo library to get a quick screenshot. I'll just use an Apple one from a keynote, take a little snippet, put it as an image in a blog post or something like that.
Right, and of course, and a lot of the companies we write about as well, they do the same thing. They provide a lot of handout art, which is free to use, so with proper attribution. So we do use a lot of the handout stuff that companies provide.
So I think we broadly talked around all of those, all of the questions that he's asked. Lewis, I guess how many articles do you write in a day?
Oh, God, one at most.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the last time I wrote 2 articles in one day. I mostly end up tinkering around in the background and.
You've been writing more in the last few months than usual. Your job is primarily editing all of the articles that the rest of us write. But sometimes in the afternoon, since you're on the West Coast a few hours after us, there'll be a 5 p.m. Lewis post. I like those.
Yeah, I've been trying to do that a lot more, but it's usually all the interesting stuff has already been covered by the time, in the morning, I'm usually doing more editing and stuff like that. In the afternoon is when I have perhaps time to do something else like that.
And of course, being the how-to writer, video producer, podcaster, I'm all over the map. Sometimes I write a thing every day and I feel really great. Sometimes I'll spend all day researching a how-to and I won't even get it halfway done and I feel like absolute garbage. And then, of course, the podcast dominates my Thursdays. Usually video editing dominates my Fridays. So, it leaves me 3 days a week to actually write. And
one funny thing is when I was writing is I used to hate it. Every single word was torture. And I would really, really torture myself over getting, I do a lot of self-editing. So I'd often try to turn in, copy that wasn't just cranked out, although Lewis is raising his eyebrows there because he's edited a lot of my stuff. But then the next day, when you publish something, and especially if it takes off, if something goes viral, which hasn't happened for a while, but at Wired, it used to happen quite a lot, and you get a huge dopamine hit from seeing the statistics, from seeing the number of readers on something.
Quite a rush.
Feedback, and then also seeing other people pick up your story as well. So occasionally that goes, I've had stories that have gone done really, really well. There's a huge kick to that. It's great to be part of the public conversation, and of course when you're working at Wired had a lot more clout than Cult of Mac does, and was would be monitored by a lot of the national publications for stories that they could pick up on. So that would happen more frequently than it happens with Cult of Mac. But there's definitely something really, really rewarding about producing, because it seemed like torture at the time, and you think, oh my goodness, this is one of the worst things ever published in the English language, but then it would take off, and and you get a lot of readers, you get a lot of feedback. Some of it would be hate. I used to print out all the emails I got, all the hate mail I got. I had a big wall of it. But the only way to stay sane. But it's a rewarding. It can be a really rewarding profession. Funny enough, even though it's like there's a lot of changes, and it's difficult, more difficult probably to be a publisher on the web than it ever has been.
Oh yeah, feedback is absolutely the most valuable part. I mean, more valuable than pay because we're bloggers and we don't get paid that much. But feedback is like the second best fuel.
Yeah,
it's excellent.
Yeah, right. Definitely. Yeah, it's there's definitely a wonderful feeling when you do and sometimes I go back and look at the stories and go, oh, that was actually quite good. That was actually quite well written, which I definitely didn't feel at the time. Definitely not. Yeah. Well, thanks for that question. Good question. If anyone else wants to ask about the wonderful world of blogging, we'd be happy to answer. And any other questions too. So I think let's wrap it up there. I think that's enough we have.
We once again, for the third week in a row, don't have time for Leander's Apple Watch Series 11 review.
Well, I don't know. Should we talk about it real quick?
We'll just have to wait for next week.
Yeah, all right. Let's wait for next week. We've got more time. But the Apple Watch, I think, is a great watch. And there's one feature that really is a game changer that I did want to talk about. Well, we'll talk about it next week. Yeah. So let's wrap it up there. That's enough of this rubbish. Let's wrap it up. So thank you for listening to the CultCast. If you want to continue the fun, Lewis is on Twitter at Lewis Wallace. Griffin's on Mastodon at D. Griffin Jones, and I wrote the Cultivate Today newsletter, which you can get at newsletters.cultivate.com. So send us a text link, please. Ask a question. Go in the YouTube comments and ask us questions to the show. So that's been the CultCast, the best hour-long conversation you're going to hear all week long. New episodes of the CultCast come out every Thursday night, and I want to thank you guys for listening, for watching. We'll see you all next time. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Goodbye.
All right, bye.
Good afternoon.
Good night.
Good morning. All right.